Marley was dead, to begin with. There's no doubt whatever about that. The register was buried, was signed by the clergyman, the clock, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Old Marley was as dead as a doornail. Scrooge knew he was dead? Of course he did. How could it be otherwise? Scrooge and he were partners for I don't know how many years. Scrooge was his sole executor, his sole administrator, his sole assigned, his sole residual legatee, his sole friend, and sole mourner. And even Scrooge was not so dreadfully cut up by the sad event, but that he was an excellent man of business on the very day of the funeral, and solemnized it with an undoubted bargain. Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name. There it stood, years afterwards, above the warehouse door. Scrooge and Marley. The firm was known as Scrooge and Marley. Sometimes people knew the business, called Scrooge, sometimes Marley, but he answered to both names. It was all the same to him. No, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, Scrooge. A squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner, hard and sharp as flint, from which no steel had ever struck out generous fire, secret and self-contained, and solitary as an oyster. The cold within him froze his features, nipped his pointed nose, shriveled his cheeks, stiffened his gait, made his eyes red, his thin lips blue, and spoke out shrewdly in his grating voice. A frosty rime was on his head, and on his eyebrows, and his wiry chin. He carried his own low temperature always about with him. He iced his office in the dog days, and didn't thaw at 1 degree at Christmas. Once upon a time, of all the good days in the year, Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting weather, foggy with all, and he could hear the people in the court outside wheezing up and down, beating their hands upon their breasts and stamping their feet upon the paving stones to warm them. The city clocks had only just gone 3. It was quite dark already. It had not been light all day, and candles were flaring in the windows of the neighboring offices like red smears upon the palpable brown air. The fog came pouring in at every chink and keyhole, and was so dense without that although the court was of the narrowest, the houses opposite were mere phantoms. The door of Scrooge's counting house was open, that he might keep his eye upon his clock, though in a dismal little cell beyond, a sort of tank, was copying letters.
What are you doing?
It's so cold in here, sir. I can hardly hold my pen. I was but getting a small piece of coal for my fire.
Coal costs money, Cratchit, a great deal of money. More coal today, and you and I must part. Work fast, your fingers will warm soon enough.
Merry Christmas, Uncle! God save you!
Merry Christmas. Bah, humbug! Pick up that hat.
Christmas a humbug, Uncle! You don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Come then. What right have you to be dismal? What reason have you to be morose? You're rich enough.
Bah, humbug!
Don't be angry, Uncle.
What else can I be? But I live in such a world of fools as this. Merry Christmas. Out upon Merry Christmas. What is Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time to finding yourself a year older and not 1 hour richer. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle!
Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it? But you don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone then. Much good it may do you, much good it has ever done you.
Uncle, there are many things from which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited. I dare say Christmas amongst the rest. But I have always thought of Christmas time as a good time. A kind, forgiving, charitable time. The only time I know of in the long calendar of the year, when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely. And to think of people below them as if they really were fellow passengers to the grave, and not another race of creatures bound on other journeys, and therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good, will do me good, and I say God bless it!
God bless it! Let me hear another sound from you, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation. Now, nephew, you're quite a powerful speaker. I wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
I'll see you in Hades first.
But why? Why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love. Good afternoon.
Nay, Uncle, but you never came to see me before that happened. Why give it as reason for not coming now?
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
Uncle, I am sorry, with all my heart, to find you so resolute. We have never had any quarrels, to which I have been a party, but I have made the trial in homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. A Merry Christmas, Uncle!
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year!
Good afternoon.
A Merry Christmas, Clark, and a Happy New Year!
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas, eh, my fine fellow? A clock with but 15 shillings a week, and a wife and a family talking about a Merry Christmas? I'll retire to Bedlam. Merry Christmas. Bah humbug!
There's a lady here, sir, wishing to see you.
Show her in, and be quick about it. A waste of the firm's time, this business of Christmas.
Let's see. Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very night.
We have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner. At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute who suffer greatly at this present time. Many thousands are in want of common necessities. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comfort, sir.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are still. I wish we could say they are not.
The treadmill and the poor law are in full effect then?
Both very busy, sir.
I was afraid from what you said that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course. I am very glad to hear it.
Under the impression that they scarcely furnish Christmas cheer of mind or body to the multitude, a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of work. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. Since you ask what I wish, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help support the establishments I have mentioned, and those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, then they had better do it, and decrease the surplus population. It is not my business. Good afternoon.
And I can't put you down for something, Mr. Scrooge.
Not a shilling. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and may I say a Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Scrooge.
Good afternoon. Show her the door, Clark. Merry Christmas indeed. Humbug.
May I have a candle, sir? It's quite dark and it's hard to see my copy.
A candle. Put your nose to it, man. A candle. Back to your desk and be quick about it. You'd better sharpen your sight. If your eyes are failing, there are clocks aplenty looking for situations.
Yes, sir.
God bless you, merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior.
Get out of here, you little ruffians! Away with you, I'll take you! You'll walk all day tomorrow, I suppose.
If it's quite convenient, sir.
It is not convenient, and it is not fair. If I was to stop half a crown for it, you'd think yourself ill-used. Yet you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
It's only once a year, sir.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the earlier next morning.
I will, sir. I will. And thank you, sir.
Scrooge took his melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern, and having read all the newspapers and beguiled the rest of the evening with his banker's books, went home to bed. He lived in chambers which had once belonged to his deceased partner. The yard was so dark that even Scrooge, who knew its every stone, was fain to grope with his hands. Now it is a fact that there was nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door, except that it was very large. It is also a fact that Scrooge had seen it night and morning during his whole residence in that place. Also that Scrooge had as little of what is called fancy about him as any man in the city of London, and he had not bestowed one thought on Marley since his last mention of his 7 years dead partner that afternoon. Then let any man explain to me, if he can, how it happened that Scrooge, having his key in the lock of the door, saw in the knocker, without its undergoing any intermediate process of change, not a knocker, Marley's face. Marley's face was not in impenetrable shadow, as the other objects in the yard were, but had a dismal light about it, like a bad lobster in a dark cellar. It was not angry or ferocious, but looked at Scrooge as Marley used to look, ghostly spectacles turned up upon its ghostly forehead. Though the eyes were wide open, they were perfectly motionless. That and its livid color made it horrible, but its horror seemed to be in spite of the face and beyond its control, rather than a part of its own expression. As Scrooge looked fixedly at this phenomenon, he was a knocker again. To say that he was not startled would be untrue. But he put his hand upon the key he had relinquished, turned it sturdily, walked in, and lighted his candle. He did pause with a moment's irresolution before he shut the door, and he did look cautiously behind it first. But there was nothing on the back of the door except the screws and nuts that held the knocker on. So he said, "Po, po," and closed it with a bang. The sound resounded through the house like thunder. Every room above and every cask in the wine merchant's cellars below appeared to have a separate peal of echoes of its own. Scrooge was not a man to be frightened by echoes. He fastened the door, walked across the hall, slowly too, trimming his candle as he went. Half a dozen gas lamps out of the street wouldn't have lighted the entry too well, so you may suppose that it was pretty dark with Scrooge's dip. On Scrooge went, not caring a button for that. Darkness is cheap, and Scrooge liked it. Before he shut his heavy door, he walked through his room to see that all was right. He had just enough recollection of the face to desire to move that. All as it should be. Nobody under the table. Nobody under the chair. Small fire in the grate. Spoon and basin ready. And the little saucepan of gruel. The Scrooge had a cold in his head. Upon the hearth. Nobody under the bed. Nobody in his dressing gown. which was hanging up in a suspicious attitude. Quite satisfied, he closed his door, locked himself in, double locked himself in, which was not his custom. Thus, secured against surprise, he took off his coat and his overcoat, put on his dressing gown and his nightcap, and walked toward the fire to take his gruel. It was a very low fire indeed, nothing on such a bitter night. He was obliged to sit close to it and brood over it before he could extract the least sensation of warmth from such a handful of fuel. As he threw his head back in the chair, his glance happened to rest upon a bell, a disused bell that hung in the room. It was with great astonishment and with a strange, inexplicable dread that as he looked, he saw this bell begin to swing. It swung so softly in the outset that it scarcely made a sound, but soon it rang out loudly, and so did every bell in the house.
Much. Who are you? Ask me who I was.
Who were you then, in particular, for a shade?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Martin.
Can you sit down?
I can.
Do it then.
You don't believe me?
I don't.
What evidence would you have of my reality beyond that of your own senses?
I don't know.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a slight disorder of the stomach can make them cheat. You might be an undigested bit of beef, a block of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. Why, there's more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever you are. You see this toothpick?
I do,
You're not looking at it.
but I see it, notwithstanding.
Well, I have but to swallow this, and be for the rest of my days persecuted by a legion of goblins, all of my own creation. Humbug, I tell you, humbug!
Whoa!
Mercy, dreadful apparition, why do you trouble me?
Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do, I must. But why do spirits walk the earth, and why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. If that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death.
You are fettered. Tell me why.
I wear the chains I forged in life. I labor link by link and yard by yard. I girded them about me of my own free will, and of my own free will I wore them. Is its pattern strange to you? Or would you recognize the weight and length of the strong coiled you bear yourself? It was full, as heavy, and as long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain.
Jacob,
Jacob Barley. Tell me more. Speak comfort to me.
I have none to give. It comes from other regions, Ebenezer Scrooge. It is conveyed by other ministers to other kinds of men. Nor can I tell you what I would. A very little more of old women in me. I cannot stay, I cannot rest, I cannot linger anywhere. My spirit never walked beyond our counting house. Mark me! In life, my spirit never roved beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing hole, and weary journeys lie before me.
You must have been very slow about it, Jacob.
Slow?
7 years dead this Christmas Eve and traveling all the time?
The whole time. No rest, no peace, incessant torture of remorse.
You travel fast?
On the wings of the wind.
You might have gone over a great quantity of ground in 7 years, Jacob.
Oh! Captive, bound, and double-ironed. Not to know that any Christian spirit working kindly in its little sphere, whatever it may be, will find its mortal life too short for its vast means of usefulness. Not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one life's opportunities misused. Yet, such was I. Oh, such was I.
But you were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. At this time of the rolling year, I suffer most. Why did I walk through crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down, and never raise them to that blessed star which led the wise men to a poor abode? Were there no poor homes to which its light would have conducted me? Hear me. My time is nearly gone.
I will, but don't be hard on me, Jacob. Don't be flowering, pray.
I am here tonight to warn you that you have a chance and hope of escaping my fate, a chance and hope of my procuring Ebenezer.
You were always a good friend to me, Jacob. Thank you.
Ebenezer Scrooge, you will be haunted by 3 spirits.
That is the chance and hope you mentioned.
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once, Jacob, and have it over?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. The third on the next night. With the last stroke of 12, it ceased to vibrate. Look to see no more, and look back for your own sake. You remember what has passed between us. I must be gone.
Jacob Marley? Where are you, Jacob? Gone? He's gone? Leaving the door double locked as I did have it. Jacob Marley's gone. my name. How come you here? Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me? You are but a child. You look to be 8 years old, yet you are a child. With rosy cheeks? Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past.
No, your past.
What business brings you here?
Your welfare, Ebenezer Scrooge, and your reclamation. Come, take heed. Give me your hand and walk with me.
No, spirit, lead me not through yonder window. I am but a mortal and liable to fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand. Bear. And you shall be upheld in more than this. Come with me, Ebenezer Scrooge.
They passed through the wall and stood upon an open country road with fields on either hand. The city had entirely vanished. Not a vestige of it was to be seen. The darkness and the mist had vanished with it. The wood was a clear, cold, winter day with snow upon the ground.
Look about you, Ebenezer. Do you know this place?
Good heaven, know it? Why, I was a boy here. There is the very building where I went to school.
We will go on. Your lip is trembling. And what is that upon your cheek?
A pimple. Lead on, spirits, where you will.
You know the way.
Know the way. I can walk it blindfolded.
Strange to have forgotten it for so many years. Let us go on. Here, behind this very door, is your old schoolroom.
And yonder boy sitting at his desk, left all alone on Christmas Day.
Poor, solitary child, alone, at Christmas time.
Spirit, it is I, Ebenezer Scrooge. And the book that I am reading is Ali Baba. Oh, the characters in my books came to share Christmas with me. Ali Baba, Robinson Crusoe, Black Man Friday, running through the sand. Poor boy. Now I wish, but it's too late now.
What is the matter?
Nothing. There were some children singing a Christmas carol at my door last night. I should like to have given them something, that's all.
Dear brother, I've come to bring you home, dear brother. To bring you home.
Home, little fan?
Yes, home for good and all. Home forever and ever.
But Father,
Father is so much kinder than he used to be that home was like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one dear night when I was going to bed. I was not afraid to ask him once more if he might come home.
what did he say?
He said yes, you should, and sent me in a coach to bring you.
Oh, wonderful.
And you're to be a man and never to come back here. But first we're to be together all the Christmas long and have the merriest time in the world.
You're quite one little fan.
Come on, we must hurry. They're putting your trunks on the coach now.
Oh, little fan, we're going to have such a wonderful Christmas this year.
Come on, we must hurry.
Always a delicate creature, whom a breath might have withered, but she had a large heart.
So she had. You were right, I'll not gainsay it, Spirit, God forbid.
She died a woman, and had, as I think, children.
Yes, one child.
True. Your nephew.
Yes, my nephew Fred.
Come with me. Here we are. Do you know this building?
This warehouse? Why, I know it like the back of my hand. I was a boy here. Was I not apprenticed here?
Come then. Let us peep to the windows.
Why, it's old Fezziwig, bless his heart. Old Fezziwig alive again.
Yo-ho, it's Christmas Eve, Ebenezer.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas, sir.
Christmas Eve, Dick.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas, sir.
No more work tonight, my boys. Christmas Eve, Ebenezer. Christmas Eve, Dick. Let's have a dance before a man can say Jack Robinson.
Let's have a dance. Yes, let's do.
Is the punch ready, Ebenezer?
Yes, sir. A big bowl full over at the other end of the warehouse.
Is the cake ready, Dick?
Right by the punch bowl, sir. The biggest cake I've ever seen.
Good. Are the fiddlers ready for the dance?
All set up and ready for the ball. Give us the word and we'll start the call. Here come Mrs. Fezziwig and the girls.
Now put away the mistletoe and let each girl take her a bow. Let's have the music and we'll start the dance. These young jackanapes who's a stepping old Fezziwig yet.
God's heart a dozen times over.
A small matter to make these silly folks so full of gratitude.
Small?
Why, is it not? He has spent but a few pounds of your mortal money, 3 or 4 perhaps. Is that so much he deserves this praise?
It isn't the money. Fezziwig had the power to make us all happy, to give us pleasure in small things. Oh, I wish.
What is the matter?
Nothing particular.
Something, I think.
I should like to be able to say a word or two to my club just now, that is all.
My time grows short.
I want to watch a moment more. Let me stay a bit longer.
Give me your hand. Look.
No. Stop not here. I tell you, stop not here, spirit.
Why not? It is the Christmas past.
I once loved a young woman. I prefer not to remember.
It matters little to you. Very little. Another idol has displaced me, and if it can cheer and comfort you in time to come as I would have tried to do, I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
This is the even-handed dealing of the world. There is nothing on which this world is so hard as poverty, and there is nothing which it professes to condemn with such severity as the pursuit of wealth.
Dear Ebenezer, you fear the world too much. All your other hopes have merged into the one hope of being beyond the chance of its sordid reproach. The reproach of poverty. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one until the master passion gain engrosses you, have I not?
What then? Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I am not changed towards you, am I?
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor, and content to be so until in good season we could improve our worldly fortune by our patient industry. You are changed. When it was made, Ebenezer, you were another man.
I was a boy.
Our own feelings tell you you are not what you were. I am. That which promised happiness when we were one in heart is fraught with misery now that we are two. How often and how keenly I have thought of this, I will not say. It is enough that I have thought of it and can release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words? No, never.
What then?
A changed nature, and an altered spirit, and another atmosphere of life, another hope in its great end, in everything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. If this had never been between us, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now? No.
You think not?
I would gladly think otherwise if I could, heaven knows. But if you were free today, tomorrow, can even I believe that you would choose a dowerless girl? You, who in your very confidence with her weigh everything by gain. Or even if you should, do I not know that regret would surely follow? I do. And I release you. I hope you will be happy in the life you have chosen.
Show me no more, spirit. Remove me from this place. Why do you torture me?
I told
me back! Leave me, spirit!
Who are you? I am the ghost of Christmas present. Have you never seen the likes of me before?
Never. Are there others?
I have over 1,800 brothers.
A tremendous family to provide for. Spirit, I give you leave to conduct me where you will. I went forth last night on compulsion and learnt a lesson that is working on me even now. If you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe, Ebenezer Scrooge.
The room, the fire, the ruddy glow, the hour of night all vanished instantly, and they stood in the city streets on Christmas morning. There was nothing very cheerful in the climate of the town, and yet there was an air of cheerfulness abroad, that the clearest summer air and the brightest summer sun might have endeavored to diffuse in vain. For the people who were shoveling away on the housetops were jovial and full of glee, calling out to one another from the parapets, and now and then exchanging a facetious snowball, laughing heartily if it went right, and not less heartily if it went wrong. But soon the steeples called, good people all, church and chapel, and away they came, flocking through the streets in their best clothes, scores of by-streets, lanes, and nameless turnings, innumerable people carrying their children to the bakers' shops. The sight of these poor revelers appeared to interest the spirit very much, for he stood with Scrooge beside him and sprinkled incense on their dinners from his torch. And it was a very uncommon kind of torch, for once or twice when there were angry words between some dinner carriers who had jostled each other, he shed a few drops of water on them from it, and their good humor was restored directly. For they said it was a shame to quarrel on Christmas Day. So it was. God love it, so it was.
Is there a particular flavor you sprinkled from your torch?
There is. My own.
Would it apply to any kind of dinner on this day?
To any kindly given. To a poor one most.
Why to a poor one most?
Because it needs it most, man.
They went on, invisible, as they had been before, into the suburbs of the town. Perhaps it was the pleasure the good spirit had in showing off this power of his. Perhaps it was his own kind, generous, hearty nature, and his sympathy with all poor men that led him straight to Scrooge's closet. For there he went and took Scrooge with him, holding to his robe. And on the threshold, the spirit smiled and stopped to bless Bob Cratchit's dwelling with the sprinkling of his torch.
Bring the plates, dear. Right here, Mother. Oh, Mother, I forgot a fork in this plate.
Oh, so I did. You place it. I wish they would come on.
Oh, here comes Peter Young Mom now.
This is a baby, Mother. Come on. Here's cookie. Most wonderful smell it has, Mother. The sage and the onions. Mother, the baby came to a toy boat. The mast is broken. But tonight is still lots of fun with it. Bless your heart, yes. I hope the baker doesn't mix up our goose with some other.
How can he? We put Father's name on a package as big as we can print.
Blow on the fire, Peter. The potatoes will never boil.
I am blowing, Mother. My collar keeps getting in the way, and it will bring us down my neck.
Take off your collar now that you're going from church.
No, it's too hard to put it on again. Mother, may I have an apple?
I want one too. Not now, children. Go in the kitchen.
Yes, Mother. Mother, the taters are jumping against the lid. I think they must be done.
Dear Bart, yes. Did you see your precious father and Tiny Tim? Here is dinner almost
ready, and Bob Cratchit not home from church. And your sister Martha weren't this late last Christmas Day by half an hour.
Bob Cratchit, my clock spirit. This is the home of my clock. Such a poor small house and such a family to support on 15 shillings a week.
Here's Martha, Mother. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Here's Martha, Mother. You're such a goose, Martha. Bless your heart alive, my dear, how late you are. Take off your bonnet and shawl.
We had a deal of work to finish up last night and had a quarter this morning, Mother.
Very well, so long as you are calm. Have a seat by the fire, my dear, and have yourself a warm, Lord bless you.
Yes, Mother.
No, there's Father coming.
Hi, Martha, hi! Hurrah! Hooray for Christmas!
Ah! There you are, Tim! Home again! Where's our Martha?
Not coming.
Not coming? Not coming upon Christmas Day?
Here I am, Father. Merry Christmas.
Oh,
Upstairs, give her a happy kiss.
you are playing tricks on us. We couldn't get along without you at Christmas.
Come on, Tim. Let's go see the big pudding.
Oh, pudding!
Oh, Bob, you're such a silly. You know Martha couldn't miss Christmas at home. She couldn't. Peter, run to the baker's and fetch the goose.
Yes, Mother.
Martha, help me with the table.
Yes, Mother. Belinda, hand me the large platter. Let me dust it well. It hasn't been used since last Christmas. See, I brought a sprig of holly for the center.
Thank you, dear. That looks lovely. How did little Tim behave himself in church?
As good as gold. And better. Somehow, he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much. He thinks the strangest things you ever heard. He told me coming home that he hoped the people saw him in the church because he's a cripple. And it might be pleasant for them to remember upon Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Bless his little heart.
Martha, don't you think Tim's getting stronger and more hardy?
Father, wish were true. Here's coming with the goose, Mother. Hooray for Christmas! Such a goose, isn't it, Tim? I hope everyone in the world can have a goose as big and fun as ours.
Peter, come check to see if the potatoes are ready. Martha, help me finish getting the dinner.
Yes, Mother. Peter, are the potatoes ready? Perfect! Follow the fork there, so flip. Let me mash them. I'll leave them smooth. I promise.
Very well. There's milk all poured and butter in the cup. Don't forget the salt. Children, come help set the chairs. Belinda, how's the applesauce?
It needs my sugar. Taste.
Right you are. Just a heaping teaspoonful. Children, come set the chairs.
Let me set Father's chair. I'll set Mother's.
Merry Christmas, my dears. God bless us. Another toast. I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
Founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon. I hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children, it's Christmas Day.
It should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, on which one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. No one knows it better than you, poor fellow. I have no patience with him.
It's Christmas Day.
I'll drink his health for your sake, and the day's, not his. Here's to his long life, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
Oh, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless us, everyone.
Spirit, tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat in that poor chimney corner. and a crutch without an owner carefully preserved. If these shadows of the future remain unchanged, none of my kin will find him there.
No, no. Oh, no, kind spirit. Say he will be spared.
If these shadows remain unchanged, the child will die. What then? If he is wanted, perhaps he should do it and decrease the surplus population. Then, if men you be of heart, be not adamant. Deny and forbear your wicked kin until you have determined what the surplus is and where it is. Will you say what men shall live, what men shall die? It may be that in the sight of heaven you are more worthless and less fit to live than 1,000,000 of this poor man's child. Have done with your tears. Come with me.
Let's play a game of blind man's bluff.
How be it?
Ready?
Don't be.
Lawrence!
Lawrence!
Oh, Fred, what about the Chuckle Scrooge?
He said that Christmas was a humbug. A humbug, as I live, and he believed it, too.
No, you don't mean that.
More shame for him, Fred.
He's a comical old fellow, that's the truth, and not as pleasant as he might be. However, his offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him.
Well, I'm sure he's very rich, Fred. At least you always tell me so.
And what of that, my dear? His wealth is of no use to him. He doesn't do any good with it. He doesn't make himself comfortable with it, and he hasn't the satisfaction of thinking he is ever going to benefit us with it.
Well, I have no patience with him.
Oh, I have. I'm sorry for him. Who suffers by his ill wills? Himself, always. Here he takes it into his head to dislike us, and he won't come dine with us, and what's the consequence? He doesn't lose much of a dinner.
Indeed, I think he loses a very good dinner. Fred, you know Ellen is a wonderful cook.
The dinner tonight certainly proved that, but what I want to know is, can Ellen sing as well as Fred says she can?
Haven't you ever heard Ellen sing?
No! All I've ever heard is Fred singing her praises.
Ellen, why don't you lead us in a song?
All right, let's all sing Deck the Halls. You ready?
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Stroll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la.
Let's play Yes and No. Does everyone know how?
I don't, never heard of it.
Neither have I. You'll have to teach us.
Right.
It's very simple. I'll think of something and you try to guess what it is. Anyone may ask the question, but I can only answer yes or no. My answers will give clues as to what it is. All right. I thought of something. Now you may start asking questions.
Is it an animal?
Yes.
Is it a live animal?
Yes.
Is it a rather disagreeable animal?
Oh, yes.
Is it a savage animal?
Yes.
Is it an animal that growls and grunts?
Yes.
Does it talk sometimes?
Yes.
Does it live in London?
Yes.
Does it walk about the streets?
Yes.
Oh, I got it! It's a horse.
No.
A cow?
No.
Is it a bull?
No.
A tiger?
No.
Ellen, really, tigers don't walk the streets of London.
Oh, that's right, they don't.
It's a pig!
No, it's...
A bear?
No.
I have found it out. I know what it is, Fred. I know what it is.
And what is it?
It's your Uncle Scrooge.
Yes!
Oh, Fred, that's hardly fair. I guessed a bear and you said no. That answer should have been yes. You misled us.
Oh, and I guessed a pig. That should have been right.
Let's all have some more punch.
Scrooge has given us plenty of merriment. And I say a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man, whatever he is.
A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to Mr. Scrooge.
Oh, let's all sing Good King Wenceslas. Ready?
Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay all about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel. When a poor man came inside, gathering winter fuel.
Uncle Scrooge had imperceptibly become so gay and light of heart that he would have pledged the unconscious company in return and thanked them in an inaudible speech. The ghost had given him time. The whole scene passed off in the breath of the last notes of the song, and he and the spirit were again upon their travels. Much they saw, far they went, and many homes they visited, but always with a happy end. The spirit stood beside sick beds, and they were cheerful. On foreign lands, and they were close at home. Struggling men, they were patient in their greater hope. By poverty, and it was rich. In almshouse, hospital, and jail. In misery's every refuge, where vain man, in his little brief authority, had not made fast the door, barred the spirit out. He left his blessing and taught Scrooge his precepts. It was a long night. If it were only a night, Scrooge had his doubts of this, because the Christmas holidays appeared to be condensed into the space of time they passed together. It was strange, too. While Scrooge remained unaltered in his outward form, the ghost grew older, clearly older.
Our spirits' lives so short.
My time upon this globe grows brief. It's tonight.
Tonight.
Tonight at midnight. The time is drawing near.
Forgive me if I'm not justified in what I ask. But I see something strange not belonging to yourself protruding from your skirts. Is it a foot or a claw?
It might be a claw, but for the flesh upon it. Look here, man. Look here. Down here, sir.
Spirit, are they yours?
They are man's. They cling to me, appealing from their fathers. The boy is ignorance. The girl is want. Beware them both in all their degree, but beware the boy most. For upon his brow is written doom, unless these words are erased. Deny it, slander he who tells it ye, admit it for your factious purposes, and make it worse and bide the end.
But have they no refuge or resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Of the ghost of Christmas yet to come. You are about to show me shadows of things that have not happened, but will happen in the time before us. Is that so, Spirit? Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any specter I have seen. But as I know it is your purpose to do me good, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, I am prepared to bear you company. And I do it with a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me? Lead on, Spirit. The night is waning fast, and it is precious time to me, I know. Lead on.
No, I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night in his sleep, I believe. I wonder what was wrong with him. I thought he'd never die. God knows.
What has he done with his money?
He's left it to the company, perhaps. All I know is he hasn't left it to me. It's going to be a rather cheap funeral, for in my life, I don't know anyone to go. Suppose we make up a party and volunteer.
I don't mind going if a lunch is provided, but I must be fed if I go.
Well, I am the most disinterested among you. After all, I never wear black gloves and I never eat lunch. But I will offer to go if anybody else will. I'm not at all sure I wasn't his most particular friend. Why, we always used to stop and speak whenever we met. Bye-bye. Let me know if you decide to attend.
We will, but it's not likely.
They left the busy scene and went into an obscure part of the town where Scrooge had never penetrated before, although he recognized its situation and its bad repute. The ways were foul and narrow, the shops and houses wretched, the people half-naked, drunken, slipshod, ugly. Alleys and archways, like so many cesspools, disgorged their offenses of smell and dirt and life on the straggling streets, and the whole quarter reeked with crime, filth, and misery. Far in this den of infamous resort, there was a lowbrow, beetling shop below a penthouse roof, where iron, old racks, bottles, bones, and greasy oil were brought.
Inspector, where do you lead me? What possible business have we here in this poor district, among rag pickers and poor creatures of the half-world? Merciful heaven, what is this?
Dear old Joe, here's a chance of having all three met here without meeting it.
You couldn't have met in a better place. We're well matched. Come in. Looks like you've had good pickings.
What odds then? What odds, Mrs. Dilber? Every person has a right to take care of themselves. He always did.
That's true. Never man more so.
And don't stand staring as if you was afraid, woman. Who's the wiser? We're not going to pick holes in each other's coats, I suppose. No. No, indeed.
I should hope not.
Very well, then. That's enough. Who's the worse for the loss of a few things like these? Not a dead man, I suppose.
If he wanted to keep him after he was dead, the wicked old man, why wasn't he natural in his lifetime? If he had been, he'd have had someone to look after him when he was struck with death, instead of lying gasping out his last there alone by himself.
Aye, 'tis true as word that ever was spoke. Is there judgment on him?
I wish it were a little heavier one. And it may have been, you could depend on it if I could have laid my hands on anything else. Open the bundle, John. Take out the money. I'm not afraid to be the first, nor afraid for them to see it. We knew pretty well that we're helping ourselves when we met here, I suppose. Let me know the value of it.
That's your account. And I wouldn't give another sixpence if I was to be boiled for not doing it. Who's next?
There, Joe. These things ought to be worth a great deal. Some of the old man's best belongings. It seems as if I didn't know the value of things.
There's your account, Mrs. Dilber. He always gives too much to the ladies. It's a weakness of mine, and that's the way everyone makes stuff. That's your account. If you ask me for another penny, I'll repent of being so liberal and knock off half a crown.
Open my bundle, Joe. It ought to be worth a pretty penny. And you can be as liberal as you like, Joe.
What do you call these? Bed curtains?
Aye, bed curtains.
You don't mean to say you took them down, rings and all, with him lying there dead?
I certainly do. Why not?
You are born to make your fortune, and you'll certainly do it.
I certainly shan't hold my hand, not when I can get anything in it by reaching it out. For sake of such a man as he was, I promise you. Don't drop tallow on those blankets now.
His blankets?
Whose else's do you think? Is it likely to take cold without them, I dare say?
I hope we didn't die of anything catching, eh?
Don't you be afraid of that. I ain't so fond of his company that I'd loiter about for things such as these. You can look through that shirt till your eyes ache, and you won't find a hole in it, nor a threadbare place. It was the best he had, and a fine one too. He'd have wasted it if it hadn't been for me.
What do you call wasting of it?
Putting it on him to be buried in, to be sure. Someone was fool enough to do it, but I took it. Calico ain't good enough for such a purpose. It isn't good enough for anything. It's quite as becoming to the body. It can't look any uglier than he did in that one. This is the end of it, you see. He frightened everyone else away from him while he was alive. To profit us when he was dead!
This is a fearful place. In leaving it, I will not leave its lesson, trust me. Let us go.
He joined it once again, and wondering why and whither he had gone, accompanied it until they reached an iron gate. He paused to look round before entering. A churchyard. Here then the wretched man whose name he had now to learn lay underneath the ground. It was a worthy place, walled in by houses, overrun by grass and weeds, the growth of vegetation steady, not light, choked up with too much burying, fat with repleted appetite, a worthy place. The spirit stood among the graves and pointed down to one.
Spectre, before I draw near the grave on which you stand, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of things that will be, or are they shadows of things that may be only? Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends to which, if persevered, they must lead. But if the courses be departed from, the ends will change. Say it is thus with what you show me. No, Spirit, hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have been before this intercourse. Why show me this if I am past all hope? Good Spirit, assure me that I yet may change the shadows you have shown me by an altered life. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future, and the Spirit's altar shall strive within me. I will not chuck out the lessons that they teach. Tell me, I may sponge away the writing on this stone.
In his agony, he caught the spectral hand. It sought to free itself, but he was strong in his entreaty and detained it. The spirit, stronger yet, repulsed him. Holding up his hands in one last prayer to have his fate reversed, he saw an alteration in the phantom's hood and dress. It shrunk, collapsed, and dwindled down into a bedpost. Yes, and the bedpost was his own. His bed was his own. The room was his own. Best, happiest of all, the time before was his own to make amends.
I don't know what to do. Light as an angel. I'm as merry as a schoolboy. I'm as giddy as a drunken man. Merry Christmas to everybody! Happy New Year to all the world! Hello! Hello! There's the saucepan that the gruel was in. There's the door by which the ghost of Jacob Marley entered. And there's the corner where the ghost of Christmas present was. And there's the window I went through with the spirits. It's all right. It's all true. It all happened. them what it is. Don't know how long I've been among the ancients, the spirits. I don't know anything. I'm quite a baby. Never mind, I don't care. I'd rather be a baby. Oh, hello. Hello there. What's today, my fine fellow?
Well, today is Christmas Day, sir.
It's Christmas Day? I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They can do anything they want. Of course they can. Hello, my fine fellow.
Hello.
Do you know the Poulters on the next street but one at the corner?
I should hope I did.
An intelligent boy, a remarkable boy. Do you know if they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there? Not the little prize turkey, the big one.
What, the one as big as me?
Delightful boy. Pleasure to talk to him. Yes, my buck.
It's hanging there now.
He is? Go and buy it.
Go on.
Oh, no. I'm in earnest. Go and buy it and tell him to bring it here at once. Come back with the man and I'll give you a shilling. I'll come back in less than 5 minutes. I'll give you half a crown. Oh, I shall give them directions where to send it. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit. He shan't know who sent it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. Now there's a boy I'm going to do something handsome for. The best doctors are what he needs, and he shall have them. And an education. I'll take dinner at Bob Cratchit's. Fine fellow. No, I'll take dinner with my nephew. A fine fellow, my nephew. Oh. Hoorah, it's Christmas Day. God bless it. Oh, come here if you please. Come, my dear lady, how do you do? I hope you succeeded yesterday. It was very kind of you. A Merry Christmas to you.
Mr. Scrooge?
Yes, that is my name, and I fear it may not be pleasant to you. Allow me to ask your pardon. And will you do me the kindness?
Lord bless me, my dear sir. Are you serious?
If you please, not a shilling less. There are a great many back payments included in it, I assure you. Will you do me that favor?
My dear sir, I don't know what to say to such munificence.
Don't say anything. Just come and see me. Will you come and see me?
I will. I certainly will, and a Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. I am much obliged to you. Thank you 50 times. Bless you.
You went to church and walked about the streets and watched the people hurrying to and fro and found that everything could yield him pleasure. He had never dreamed that any walk, that anything would give him so much happiness. In the afternoon, he turned his steps towards his nephew's house and passed the door a dozen times before he had the courage to go up and knock. But he made a dash and did it. "Brethren," said Scrooge, "dear heart alive, how his niece by marriage started." "Bless my soul," cried Fred. "Who's that?" "It's I, your uncle's fruit. I have come to dinner. Will you let me in, Fred?" Let him in? It is a mercy he didn't shake his arm off. He was at home in 5 minutes. Nothing could be harder. His niece looked just the same. So did everyone when they came. Wonderful party, wonderful games, wonderful unanimity, wonderful happiness. But he was early at the office next morning. He was early there. If he could only be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming later. That was the thing he had set his heart upon. And he did. Yes, he did. Clock struck 9. No Bob. 1:15. No Bob. He was full 18 minutes and a half behind his time. Scrooge sat with his door wide open that he might see him come in.
What do you mean by coming here at this time of day?
I'm very sorry, sir. I am behind my time.
You are? Yes, I think you are. Step this way, if you please.
It's only once a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir.
Now, I will tell you what, my friend. I am not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer. Therefore, I am about to raise your salary. Oh, a Merry Christmas, Bob. A Merry Christmas that I have given you in many a year. I will raise your salary and endeavor to assist your struggling family, and we will discuss your affairs this very afternoon over a Christmas bowl of smoking bishop, Bob. Make up the fires and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew. Or any other good old city, town or borough, a good old world. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed that knowledge. May that be truly said of us, and all of us. So, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, every one.